Welcome to LazerAE's full editing steps and quality video. In today's tutorial, Lazer will show you how to turn a boring edit into a aura-style banger.
Guys, so beat marking is pretty simple. I don't think I need to really spend too much time talking about this. But I just want to show you guys from like step one. I mark my beats manually. I don't use any automatic beat marking. So most of the time, I'm just, using my ears. And this is the first step to any type of edit, and I feel like is beat marking. So let's get on to the next step. Alright, so I feel like clip alignment is also pretty simple too once you have the correct beats marked and stuff. So in this video I was talking through it, but my mic has some issues, so I'm just gonna talk you guys through and show you guys like how it went. Alright guys, so next what I'm gonna show you guys basically is the tool that I use on almost all my edits, whether it's anime or film. It's Uw2u2x Pro. I think at the time I got it from the developer, but now you can I think you can go on the site and get it for free. So I would recommend you guys get that. And so here basically I'm gonna go over my settings that I use in Uw2. It's really not that many settings, but I go lossless every time. Eskrin and Kurgan. Eskrin is for all anime and film, and Kurgan is just for anime. So here I'm going to show you guys basically like the method on how to do it. I don't want to go over a complete tutorial, but just showing you like the basics of what you do. You want to have your clip ready. All right, you want to detect it. So after you detect it, it's going to take a little bit to render, and you're going to see a couple of different frames pop up at the bottom. So once you see those pop up at the bottom, you're going to highlight the whole clip itself. The ones you see in the middle are dead frames. So you hit regroup. Once you hit regroup, you're going to drag the clip all the way to the last frame that you see on the timeline. Real easy, slide it all the way there. You're going to make sure that, again, your clip is centered. Once it's centered and you know it's good, you pre-comped it. And once you pre-comped it, you're going to hit process, and then you're going to click on interpolate. I do 16 times and times 16, and then I do it times 2 for almost all of my clips. So once you see that it's the new frame is there, what you'll do is you can visually see the difference in your clip. It'll look a little bit more sharpened and a little bit more smoother, and the quality overall will just look a little bit better. So once you got that, you really don't need the other comp anymore. You can go ahead and delete that. All right, then you'll go ahead and pre-comp the frame again, and then from there you'll extend it back to where the position you originally had it on the beat. All right, and then basically if you're just rinsing and repeating this for almost every single clip that you have in your timeline. So before we get on to the next part, I just want to show you guys real quick. I had a scene that cut off to a next clip, and real quick I want to come back and just go over a quick verbal walkthrough with you guys and show you that even with a small clip that you have, like a small clip just like this, if you can at least get it to around 5 to 6 frames, if it's 3 frames below 4 frames, I don't even mess with it. I'll just pre-comp it and interpolate. But if it's like this and you're really trying to get this scene, I would just go ahead and do the detect, line it up, do a test run with it, pre-comp it, interpolate it and everything, and then add a Twixtor onto it. And then if the Twixtor is smooth and decent, or even after you just do that and do the frame blending and it's still smooth, I would just go ahead and just leave that clip like that. Don't even add Twixtor to it if you don't have to. And if you do, make sure you just add maybe like a soft Twixtor. So guys, I found out something that probably some of you guys probably already who use this tool already knew about. But if you go ahead and detect every single clip in your timeline, especially for this style, or you could go ahead and do this, you go ahead and hit regroup on every single keyframe that's highlighted, and it'll go ahead and automatically move the frames all the way to like all the frames to like moving frames. And you can do that for every single clip, and then you can drag it all the way back. Now some clips might be a little off, but that's nothing to just go ahead and like after you get the first clip going on, you just go ahead and just keep doing each clip and just moving it one notch instead of, you know, sliding over like five different frames. Because I used to do that for every single clip, and that itself can take about 20 to 30 minutes. But you know, with this method, I just found out, just trying it out, that slims down like half of my work having to go through every clip now. Okay guys, so for Twixtors, we're gonna keep this real simple. I'm gonna actually drop in some free presets for you guys. These are not gonna be my main Twixtors, but these are gonna be some of the ones I've used in the past. So basically, if you guys want an in-depth tutorial for Twixtors, I'll have to provide another video for that. But basically, I'm gonna show you guys like, in here, I'll just do usually my 3 keyframes of Twixtor. This one in particular for this edit, I'm gonna probably use smooth Twixtors and maybe some what I call slightly normal Twixtor. For the most part, I just do Twixtors on every single clip. If I look at the clip and the Twixtor has made it slow and it's kind of smooth and perfect the way I want to, I usually just leave it alone. But there are cases where I will add Twixtor to the clip. I'll pre-comp it and then I'll add on an additional graph like on top of it to make it more smoother. So here, I'll show you here in this clip. I had this clip where I was like, oh, okay, it's smooth, but I want it to be a little bit smoother. So what I'll do is I'll go to flow. So I go to flow, I'll go to my one of my smooth graphs, and I'll just put the flow on top of smooth graph, and more than likely it'll be way smoother. So as you can see here, I'm highlighting the graph, going into the graph to make sure that whatever I put on flow is actually applied. That's a good thing to look into, guys, for some of your clips, just to make sure it sticks, because sometimes, you know, AE can be a little wonky and it'll mess it up. So once you apply that, you know, just let it render and then go back and just see like, oh, is it good? Will I keep it? In most cases, if the Twixtor's already slow and smooth, and then I'll add an extra additional graph onto it and it's kind of wonky, I'll just take it off, which I did here. I was like, I don't really need it. Twixtor did pretty much the job I wanted to. So yeah, after that, we're gonna get into the zooms. So I'm sure most of you guys watching already know about zooms and stuff, but this is mainly for the people who don't possibly know about zooms that well. For the most part, guys, you're really just gonna be using the S-Thermal curve. I mean, there is some other additional stuff you can add into it too. Mainly, this is mostly what I'm using other than scale, unless I'm doing some type of slide or something like that. But mainly what it is you're doing the Z-Dis. Everything else mainly stays the same. I mean, you can look at my settings for you guys self and look at like the X, the wrap X, wrap Y, the blur res, all that, blur mask. You can copy those if you want to, try them out for yourself. Mainly though, I use a consistent basis of 3 zooms, for 3 zooms for in and 3 zooms for out. And other than that, it's gonna be zooms for slides. Basically though, I feel like you guys are just gonna analyze the clip. You look at what's best for you. If you think it's a zoom out or a zoom in, or you think it needs a slide, you just make the manual adjustments. Other than that, when you're making these, if you're not using a preset or you're making your own, I would more than likely, when you're doing a zoom out or zoom in after Z-Dis, go with flow or just go to the graph and set in the speed and the way you want your zoom to look. So that's what I'm doing right now in this clip. Even though I have my own zooms and zoom outs that I use on a daily basis, you guys are really free to just look at what I have here, or even feel free to be able to just message me on Discord or YouTube, and we can kind of like go over that if you really need help on zooms. I'll even probably put in some of my zoom presets and my Discord for you guys to go ahead and just come to Discord and download. Other than that, I mean, I'm not going to go too in-depth about zooms because this isn't a zoom tutorial, but if you guys need additional help, I'm here. After zooms, I get straight on to my shakes. So here we are, guys. We're right at the benchmark of almost finishing. So right here is where we put the shake set. I've already went ahead and put the layers of all of the beats that have shakes on them already. Because I just didn't want you guys to look at me put those on one by one. So after I put the shakes on, I just go ahead and start doing what would be next usually for me. And this style is halftones. So I'm pretty like color coordinated, man. I like to put all my stuff ahead of time. So you'll see here that I have shakes labeled and then I have halftones labeled. I'll go into each beat, look at where I think I might want to put a halftone. I don't really do too much of the spamming the halftones, but I do like to signify that the beat is let's say if I do a hard shake, that beat is like one of the harder beats out of the whole song. I will put a halftone on it. I also do put my effects ahead of time too as well. Mainly the effect that I would do right now is called CC Wide. I might, guys, I might put that in there for you guys too, because I'm feeling a little generous. It's not even that major, but I already have it as my personal preset that I use, because I use this a lot in some of my transitions. So you can see here, it adds basically like a blur or like a blur to the next frame, next clip. It's really smooth and I use it a lot. You won't even notice it in the edits, but if you like look really close, it's a real smooth effect that you can put in between clips for sure. Okay guys, so after I'm done putting on the shakes and the effects that I want before the first export, what I'm doing next is this is my steps. You guys do not have to follow this. I'm just showing you guys what I do when I do edits. I highlight every single clip layer that has effects on them, all right? Once I have highlighted all of them, I drag them up one or to the top layer, and therefore it separates the effects and the clip layer. After I'm done doing the separation, I take the whole clips of what I'm using in the edit, and I pre-comp them into one single layer. After that, I add in my 4K quality, and it's on to Topaz. So these are my first export settings, guys. They're very simple. All I do is for the output module, I'll do lossless and I take it straight to Topaz. All right, so for film, movies type, I do Topaz a little differently than I do my animes. So for films, I usually try to keep it, for the first Topaz I do, I usually try to keep it really medium. So I usually do like around 50-50 sharpness, depending on the quality. Since I use quality settings in AE, I do not make my sharpness high at all. I usually use between 0 to 10 for sharpness. And everything else is pretty simple. Like, just put it on ×2. It'll automatically adjust to your FPS. You put it on manual. And then from there, you're doing the adjustment sliders. And when you guys get my editing pack, let's say if you guys do get my editing pack, I'm going to make it really affordable. It's going to be probably between like under $20 at least. This is going to include everything. It's going to include my Topaz settings, my export settings, some of my advanced settings. It's going to be one all pack. And if some of you guys can't get the pack right now, that's okay. I'll still add in some freebie on my Discord, to where some of you guys can still be able to get at least some type of effects. So after I import back in a Topaz clip, I put that into the new layer. And after that, I'm basically setting up my layers ahead of time. So what I'll do is, under my effects is the CC. Under the CC is the one framers. Under the one framers is my brightness and contrast. This is how I change the brightness and everything for the CC once it's applied. And guys, like I said, you guys could feel free to message me if in case like maybe some of this is too fast or you can't get some of the concept of what I'm talking about. But I feel like, most of you guys who use AE probably can follow along and get what I'm saying. So after this, I'm basically doing my overlays. My overlays are, I do my overlays a little bit different than I would see most people do them. I sometimes I'll either add keyframes to my overlays, or I'll do certain adjustments where I'll make the overlays flow together a little bit seamlessly, which is what I'll do here. I'll show a couple examples of what I mean by seamless and how you compare some of your overlays together to create unique transitions. For example, here I took one light leak, positioned it to the side of the picture, and it's just one line light leak, and then I also paired it with what we would call like the box arrow X overlays. I put them in with the same color effects that I use for some of my overlays in different videos. Sometimes I'll change the colors, but this is just one of many that you guys can copy or take into a line swipe into the box line overlay, and then one simple like swipe transition that I use where I'll take one part of the overlay, combine it with another to make a swipe over. And then this one here is another example of a swipe where I'll take the light leak that's going to the right, and I'll put it right over the screen towards the next clip. The only problem is you want to do this on clips that don't have shakes, because if you do it with a clip that has shakes, it won't visually show the shake, and it'll kind of mess up the flow of your video. So do it on a clip like just before the shake, or ones where maybe it's not a shake that you have on the clip. Sometimes you can do one, and then on the other you can do two, and it makes it look really fast and really nice. So guys, after you're done doing your overlays and kind of pairing them, don't be afraid to just test different stuff, guys. You never know what type of effects and stuff you might find. Now you're ready to be at the finalization stage where you're checking over your brights and CCs and make sure that the clips are not too dark or it's too light. You're making sure your one framers are in check and that they're just the way you want them. And you're also making sure your overlays are good and the effects and everything matches up the way you want it. And then after that, you're ready to play your video, and let's see how it turns out. Yo, for those who made it to the end, you guys are like awesome, man. I appreciate you guys for sticking around for this long video. As a reward, I'm gonna go ahead and drop in some freebies inside my Discord. If you look up top here, after my final export from AE, I take my stuff through a Handbrake compression, which is an app on PC. I then upload to Google Drive or Mega, download it to my phone, and once I download it to my phone, I upload it to TikTok, and that's how I have my consistent quality. Now, if you want my exact Handbrake settings and my exact presets and a couple of my other effects, I'll be dropping my editing pack soon, and you guys can buy that and receive all the stuff that I use inside of my edits.
That's the full breakdown of LazerAE's editing steps. But here's the thing. There's one final secret piece he left out: his exact final export settings. If you want those for free, join the Discord community. You'll get the final piece of the puzzle, plus access to exclusive tips, resources, and future editing packs. And let me know, do you want a part 2 or a deeper dive into a specific step? Drop your thoughts in the comments and I'll make it happen.